Good evening, darts fans, and welcome to Saturday finals night for week 3 of phase 3 here at the Online Darts Live League. An exciting night ahead with 6 players, and this is one of those nights where we have no clear favourite. Anybody in this selection of players could potentially walk away with £2,000 tonight and a guaranteed spot in Champions Week. 3 players will get their spot in Champions Week, which will start a week on Tuesday. But who will they be? We've had 3 groups this week in qualifying, and we will have a little look as to how people got on, starting with Group A. Matt Dennant won Group A on Tuesday and Wednesday, but only by the skin of his teeth in the end. He started with 7 perfect games, and then after that, he managed to lose a couple before winning his final game of the group to win over Scott Marsh by 2 points. Scott and Kieran went all the way to Group B, which was over the last couple of nights, but Simon Stevenson, James Richardson and Ryan Murray went to Group C over the Thursday and Friday morning sessions, and let's see how they got on. It wasn't to be for Simon, who lost out very, very closely for that second spot. Josh Richardson managed to snag that one by the solitary win, but Ryan Finesse, with a perfect day on Friday, won 5 games from 5. Unfortunately for the likes of Simon Stevenson, James Richardson and Ryan Murray, a second crack of the whip did not work out for them, and a debut for Sam Kankit saw him only pick up 2 victories from a possible 10. So, moving on to Group B over the last couple of nights, it was very eventful, but who was going to come through it? It was Ciaran Teehan with a wonderful display on Friday night, getting 12 points from a possible 16. He topped the group on points and on leg difference over Darryl Pilgrim, who at times looked really impressive. Paul Hogan looked comfortable most of the time, but in the end got there with a game to spare. And Andy Hamilton could only find 1 more win after 3 on Thursday, and that was not enough to make his way to the finals. As he tweeted yesterday, it was a bit of a nightmare Friday the 13th. But for tonight, we're going to start with Darryl Pilgrim, and he's going to be up against Josh Richardson as we start one of the 2 groups tonight. 3 players in each group, and we're going to start with Group 1. There we see
6 more each.
A very bright new shirt for Stealth. Same fare for the Flying Eagle. The Crystal Palace fan will try to have another successful night on a Saturday. And Josh is looking to make Champions Week for the first time. This guy has been really close in the past to winning an entire phase. And that was this year. So making Champions Week for Darryl Pilgrim is maybe expected in his own mind. But let's see what these guys can offer as we start off in Group 1.
Game on.
That group will consist of these 2 and the Group A winner, Matt Dennant. 2 games per player in each group.
84.
Based on their position after those 2 matches, if you're in the top 2, you will go through to the semi-finals. Make it to the final, and 41. Your Champions Week invitation is cemented. But if you lose in the semi-finals, you will have a 3rd place playoff and 1 last opportunity to get into the Champions Week, which starts a week on Tuesday. Just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for all of your support this week. I thought this was a really unpredictable week, and it proved to be that way.
83.
When you look at the likes of James Richardson not here, because a lot of people fancied him to get through, and Scott Marsh, who almost won Group A.
54.
Didn't have a very good time of it in Group B at all. He didn't pick up a single victory.
58.
But for Darryl Pilgrim this week, in Group B, it looked pretty good. 5 wins from 8 matches. A running average of 93.28. 10 180s. By far and away the best maximum shooter in that group. 2 ton plus
58.
checkouts and a very
Now we
impressive
require
doubles percentage of
170.
over 41%. This guy is really good over the last few months, and a lot of people fancy him to make it through to the
94.
final tonight. However, he does have Josh in his way and Matthew Dennant a little bit later on in game number 3.
Now we require 76.
In fact, it's game number 5 because Josh plays Matt in game number 3. I do beg your pardon. Double top for the first leg.
Game shown the
And that's
first
really
leg.
sharp. That's
Darryl
what we've
Pilgrim.
been getting from Pilgrim at the start of his campaigns. He's been coming out of the traps and showing sharpness. He's been getting to this building
Second against Josh to throw
early.
first. Game
He's
on.
leaving no stone unturned. As
58.
for Josh, over the last couple of days, a running average of 84.97 with 11 maximums, which was tied for the most 180s in that group with his dad.
59.
Reliably informed that James and Josh's mum Carolyn are holed up in a hotel room tonight watching and hoping that Josh can get through to Champions Week
40.
and in fact maybe win tonight to pick up that £2,000 bonus. 14 points from a possible 20 in Group
83.
C for Josh. 4 ton plus checkouts, which included a 145, which was the biggest finish of that group over the couple of days it was played.
134.
This is a really cutthroat formula here tonight. You only get 2 games guaranteed. If you lose both, you're gone.
97.
If you lose one of them, you have to cross your fingers that you've done enough to get through on leg difference. Now, there has been a slight change over the last
59.
couple of months when it comes to tiebreakers on finals night on Saturday. If they can't be separated on points in the table, we'll go to leg difference.
92.
If that doesn't separate them, we look at legs 1. Then, if we can't separate them by that, we're looking at a 9-dart shootout. We no longer look at the averages. We've
121.
now got a 9-dart shootout in play, and we haven't had one yet. Could it be tonight? It's not going to be a 170 for Darryl.
84. Joshua require 89.
Pilgrim's best finish of the week is a 115. Bullseye for Josh.
64.
Just misses out, so Pilgrim
Now
does
we
get the
require
opportunity
86.
to break in 6 visits. He goes for the bull himself.
61.
He gets a
Joshua
tiny bit
require
closer,
25.
but not close enough. 2 8s. Vital shot.
No score.
And unfortunately, it's
Now we
underpitched,
require
which gives
25.
Pilgrim a shot at the same number that he's just missed. He
17.
can't take it either.
Joshua
So
require
a few nerves
25.
early here. They understand what's on the line. Instead of coming back for a double, he's got to find the single. Only 2 for this.
Game shown
And
the
only
second
needs the
leg.
1 this time, so
Josh
he's
Richardson.
escaped one there, has Josh. I think from here on out, he's not going to get many more legs of that kind of length.
Then I guess Darryl to throw first.
Now, I've been given some information by James Richardson, Josh's dad, and he would have me for breakfast if I didn't
97.
mention some of the things he's told me. He's gone in real detail with tonight's dart shirt because he wants me to give a shout out to Trident Sportswear in Toaster for getting these shirts done in a very short amount of time. They also make the Darts for Heroes shirts, which James fondly wears
81.
all year round. But it can't be forgotten that Josh, like his father, is an Ipswich Town fan, and that is the inspiration for this dart shirt.
96.
Many a dart player does utilise their favourite sports team when it comes to the colours of the shirt.
43.
But next week, he's going to be wearing a very different shirt. Something that will probably hang in his locker for quite some time. It's going to be an England shirt. Because he's making his debut for his country next week in Wales. Imagine that, playing for your country for the first time. I remember how nervous I was when I represented Australia for the first time. Up against New Zealand and South Africa in the Tri-Nations series back in 2008. Embrace it, Josh. These opportunities don't come around very often. Grasp it. Nice lead there by Josh, but Pilgrim's in a better spot in leg 3. That is a huge miss. It's almost like he was going for the single 4. It was that central.
Josh required 100.
That was a good inch and a half low of its target. What a pinch this would be. Bullseye.
132.
He's left 32. That's the only bright side I can see from that, but it was
32.
a very good effort from Josh.
He
does lose the leg.
Darryl Pilgrim.
So we do see a gradual improvement in leg 3. That's a 16 darter, and maybe the nerves are starting to dissipate.
4th leg is Josh to throw first.
When you look at Pilgrim's live league career,
60.
he has a running average just under 90. But this week, his running average has been 3% better. That's a big jump.
137.
He's got a win percentage this week alone of 62.5%. But when you look at other people and how well they've done,
96.
it makes that 62.5% this week look quite pedestrian. Matthew Dennant and Ryan Finesse are both winning 80% of their games.
77.
You see the averages in this match, they're a bit scratchy. But because the averages are not taken into consideration for a tiebreaker now, they don't mean as much.
58.
So my message to Josh right now is just find a way. And don't lose your darts in the first 9 darts of the leg, which unfortunately he has done now.
58. 60.
A lot of dart players love to put a yellow star on their shirt, and you see the left sleeve of Josh's shirt does have a yellow star signifying his World Youth Championship win.
45.
But in his right rib cage, it looks like he's a 71-time champion of the world in something else, or maybe some other former darts.
57.
I used to make that joke about an old Joe Cullen shirt because he had about 200 stars on his shirt as part of the design. Well, Josh has had a look at a 167 and missed the ball for it.
60.
Why not a 170?
Josh require 170.
It's not going to happen this time.
134.
He does get the next best thing, but he does have to hold his breath for a second. That one has worked out for Josh.
84. Josh required 36.
Just don't make any mistakes when you get these chances. It doesn't matter what your average is. Just get a chance and take a chance.
Game on the 4th.
That's exactly what he's done.
Josh Richardson.
It doesn't have to be in the middle either. He can find any corner of that double 18 or any double that he leaves, as long as he finds it.
5th leg is Darryl to throw first.
I've also been reliably informed about Josh's nickname, Stealth. When he was younger, apparently he was a very quiet child. Didn't say a boot to a goose. But family friends,
80.
Jamie and Mark Wastel, would nickname him Stealth because he wouldn't say boo to a goose, but he'd be really, really good at taking people out. But word for word, this is what James has told me. Mark and Jamie Wastel came out with stealth, just like the aircraft plane that is silent but very accurate in what they do. I mean, he's like a stealth fighter, I guess. From that perspective, he must be really looking forward to the new Top Gun movie coming out in the next couple of weeks.
$140.
Pilgrim's going to have to get a hold of this fifth leg. Considering the level of play in this game, which is drastically under what they've done this week.
125.
Darryl does not want to lose a game like this. But Josh is starting to play better now. He's had that grounding period of 4 legs.
105.
He's starting to play it like he usually does. This would sting. This is a big passage of play in this match.
Joshua required 53.
Is Pilgrim going to get away with leg 5, or is Josh going to take it for a break of throat? Double 18 was good to him last time.
17.
Not on this occasion.
Darryl required
That could
24.
be the most valuable miss in this contest.
Game shown the
As we
fifth
see
leg.
a central double
Darryl
12 from
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. He was dicing with his throw being broken there, but he has got away with one and is now favourite to win this match.
Sixth leg is Josh to throw first. Game on.
In Group 2, which we will focus on in our
58.
next match, it will be Paul Hogan against Ryan Finesse, and Ciaran Teehan of Cork will be the other player in that group.
125.
We haven't had a maximum in this match yet, as you can see from that graphic. I'm expecting a lot more in the way of maximums when Pilgrim plays against Dennant in
99.
match 5. That was one of my picks of the night when we were talking on Sporty Stuff TV around 8:30.
137.
Please remember, if you are having a flutter tonight, it's for over 18s only. Please gamble responsibly and begambleaware.org for more
123.
information. Can Pilgrim close it out by 4 legs to 2? Or will this go the distance in the first match of the night, of which there will be 10? 6 qualifying matches, 2 semi-finals, the third place playoff, and then the final, which will see somebody walk away
134.
with 2 bags of sand. Not literally. $171 was almost found
133. Joshua required 87.
to stop his opponent getting a match-winning shot. He must hit the bull. And you can tell how important this is by how he looks.
62.
And he was almost up to it.
Darryl requires 62.
Single 20 surely. For double 16.
46.
And that one missed by quite some way.
Joshua required 25.
Surprising considering he'd been really good on the doubles until that point.
Game
But
shown
Josh
the
finds the
sixth leg.
25 he needs.
Josh Richardson.
And this one goes down to a 1-leg shootout. I just get the feeling tonight we're going to have a few 4-3s. Could this be the night where we have a 9-dart shootout?
7th and final leg, it's Darryl to throw first. $80.
If Pilgrim loses this game, he will feel it's got away from him with an opponent only averaging 80.
134.
But he hasn't played well either, averaging 84. That's 9 points down on what he's usually done this week. Just goes back to that
97.
old saying, darts is on the day. Just because you play brilliantly on Thursday and Friday doesn't mean you're going to play well on a Saturday. if you get to Saturday,
140.
anything's possible. That's what I like to say. Got to be in it to win it. It's like these people who say, when I win the lottery,
98.
and they don't buy a ticket. Got to be here to have a chance. And Josh is taking his chance so far.
100.
He's had his little slice of luck with Pilgrim missing a match start for 4-2. Now can he get across the line? This might be his only chance. What a dart that is. It's a bullseye again.
102.
And yet again he misses it.
Now we require 92.
So they've both had one match start. What does he do now? Well, in a flash, he made his mind up. And Josh knows exactly how to take 25. He did it in the last leg. And he wins the match against the darts.
Richardson.
So one has gotten away from Pilgrim, who has got an uphill task of getting through Group 1 now. It wasn't a classic as you look at the averages, and Pilgrim will be devastated that 42% was not good enough to get through the match. But he did miss one match start. That's what cost him. And when Richardson had his chance, he took it for that 4-3 win. So Group 1 right now is in the hands of Josh Richardson. We'll see more of them in Group 1 a little bit later on. But when we come back for Group 2, we're going to have Ryan Finesse and Paul Hogan with our first match from that. Coming right up after this.
6 more each.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Saturday finals here at the Online Darts Live League for Week 3 of Phase 3. We're going to turn our attention to Group 2 now, as we look at Paul Hogan up against Ryan Furness in Match 1 of that group. He's wearing the Crocodile Dundee shirt tonight, and he's up against Ryan Finesse of Salisbury. He doesn't have a nickname. Answers on a postcard. But maybe he doesn't need one when you're winning Group C. As for Paul Hogan, qualified in 3rd position in Group B over the last couple of nights.
Okay, first leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
And this could be a very interesting game. We've already had one really interesting match with Josh Richardson winning against Darryl Pilgrim against the darts.
100.
Ryan's got them here. So he's the one who is the marginal favourite because he's won a group this week. Paul came 3rd, like I mentioned.
85.
Albeit in different groups. But Ryan, 16 points from a possible 20 over the last couple of daytime sessions. Running average of 84.12, which is quite misleading. Checkout percentage over 35%. Pretty good. Only the 1 ton plus checkout.
81.
So the statistics don't tell the full story about how good Finesse has been this week, because you only need to know one thing, and that's that he didn't lose a match yesterday.
60.
5 consecutive wins got him to the summit of Group C. That's all you need to know. He was the best player on the day. He took all of his chances.
25.
That's why he's in this group as the Group C winner.
$105.
Very steady start here from Ryan. 96 after 12. Most players would take in this spot.
100.
Hogan keeps pace.
96.
Double 18. Across the board to double 9.
87. We require 100.
This is on the inside, and Hogan has an early breaking opportunity, which he's not going to take.
92. Ryan, you record 9.
Now that's an interesting leave. Who goes 60 double 9? Oh yes, Simon Whitlock.
Game shown the
but
first
it doesn't matter.
leg.
Ryan Finesse takes that first leg in 17 darts, which is slightly ahead of his weekly average, but he doesn't care about the stats.
Second leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Let's have a little glance at what Hogan has done over the last couple of nights then.
43.
For a long time, he was leading Group B, but ultimately was overtaken by Darryl Pilgrim and Ciaran Teehan.
97.
Had a running average of 90.03 for the 2 nights, which was very good. But here's the point I wanted to make about Hogan over the last 2 nights. It was consistent
60.
without being spectacular. The reason I say that is because his overall average was just a shade over 90, and his best performance was only 93.
41.
That says to me that his bad games were in the high 80s, and his brilliant performances were just above what he was doing overall.
100.
But his checkout percentage of anybody playing in a full group this week, that was what was really impressive. 48% for the 8 matches he played. That's world class. Especially when he had no ton plus checkouts the last couple of nights.
130.
It was all about picking off the
Running
2 darters
64.
and the smaller shots. But what's he done here? He should know, with all of his 30 years of experience, he can't be leaving 163. And if he doesn't get a second visit to take care of that
97. Ryan requires 73.
unfortunately, he is to blame. 14 for tops. And believe me when I say this, Finesse this week has been brilliant here.
Game shown the second
There's evidence of it.
Ryan Furness.
Yesterday, he had that thing hit with his eyes closed. And a 2-0 lead against Hogan is the perfect start.
So look, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
It's a 93.94 average for the first couple of legs. 32 darts thrown.
123.
And one of my picks for the night was, funnily enough, for Hogan to win this match. Match isn't over yet.
180.
Some people need a little jab in the ribs to get them going. And maybe Hogan is that person in this spot. But you do not want to be giving people a 2-0 lead in this best of 7 leg format.
$66.
I've been looking through the way that Paul Hogan played in 2021 compared to 2022.
177.
And he has played much better this year, but Finesse, who had a really good 2021 late on, when he came third in week 4 of Phase 5, that was when he really announced himself to the Online Darts Live League. Maybe this is going to be a better week. Looking at tops.
62.
Misses it this time, but Hogan's chances. Only a 3%er.
$92. Ryan required 20.
To elevate his chances of making the semi-finals.
Game shot on the third leg.
He's 3-0 up.
Ryan Furness.
And knowing Ryan Finesse as I do, he's not going to take his foot off the pedal. So far, this is one of his best performances of the week.
Fourth leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Funnily enough, even though he won Group C with a perfect day on Friday, his best average
140
in one individual game is 90.18. That in itself is fine. But when you've got a personal best
46
of 106 in this room in the last 12 months, you'd have to say that maybe he has underperformed overall, but still won.
85.
Is this the time for him to put in a personal best for the week? Because I'll tell you what, he's well above that 90 mark, I can guarantee you that.
121.
What kind of fight back can we see from Hogan? Because if there isn't one,
121.
he may be in trouble in this group, because Ciaran Teehan, who won Group B, is also in this cluster. And he didn't lose yesterday either.
58.
He could. So it's a really bad draw for Hogan, getting the 2 undefeated players from Friday.
85.
Such an interesting switch, that. You don't see many players using the treble 15 as a switch.
140. But we require 70.
Just get rid of it. Double 8 for a 14 darter. He thought it was in. He was already smiling.
Game
He's
shown
smiling
the
now
flag.
because the 15 darter is taken. A lovely check out of 70 to make sure that he's not done to nil. If he's going to lose, he's got to get legs on the board anyway. Just remember what I said about leg difference.
Game on.
It comes into play on Saturday night more than any other part of the week. And that is huge bad news for Crocodile Dundee fans and the player himself. He did not want to hear that call from our referee for the night, Owen Binks.
135.
We've had 2 referees this week, Binks and Hinks.
$134.
This is a destructive 5th leg.
$28.
And if he polishes this off in the next 2 visits, he's going to get very close to his personal best. This is a glorious leg of darts.
171.
It doesn't get much better than this. And he gets a nod of respect from Hogan, who can do absolutely nothing about it.
$122.
To win by 4 legs to 1. To get his finals
16.
campaign on Saturday off to a flying start.
Game
It's a 10
shot
dart
on the
leg.
match.
And
Ryan
that will be a
Furness.
new personal best average. Over the last couple of nights, he's plucked away and done very good things. I'm just going to check. He's missed his personal best by 0.01. What about that? Such a close call, but 57% on the doubles. Hogan didn't play poorly. He just ran into a steam train from Salisbury, which is Ryan Finesse, who gets 2 points for Group 2. We're going to go back to Group 1 when we come back after the break, and it's going to be Josh Richardson trying to double his tally up against Matt Dennant, the winner of Group A. Match 3 of tonight's session here at the Saturday finals in week 3. It will be the second match in Group 1. So Josh Richardson will finish his group campaign here against the group winner from Group A from earlier in the week, which is Matthew Dennant. So welcome back to the Scholar. It's a very simple scenario now for Josh Richardson, who now takes on this guy from the West Midlands who's had the last couple of days off. If Josh wins, he's through and he will win Group 1 and he will play in the first semi-final. But if Matthew Dennant wins, we will then have to go to match number 5 where he'll play Darryl Pilgrim to see who progresses.
Okay, first look, it's Josh to throw first. Game on.
So Josh in his first game, averaging 82.75 with 1 of every 3 darts at double successful.
123.
I wonder if that would be good enough against Dennant, who hasn't played since Wednesday.
57.
But when he was playing on Tuesday and Wednesday, he was very impressive. He held on to that number 1 spot in that table for a very long time. And his one saving grace towards the end,
59.
when he started to falter a little bit, was his leg difference, which was hugely advantageous over the chasing pack.
56.
At one point, he was pretty much assured of coming through, but then he suffered a couple of defeats in succession by 4 legs to 3.
100.
One of them against Simon Stevenson, which was a bit weird actually, because as soon as he lost to Simon, he needed Simon to then do him a favour against Scott Marsh, which actually happened. But a 90.28 running average
27
for the 2 days he played.
57.
8 wins from a possible 10. All of the stats tell us that he played really tidily.
105.
But he's coming up against an opponent here who's already got a win under his belt tonight. It's a difficult scenario for Matt.
52.
And he's going against the darts. That's in the way. But how much is it in the way here?
36. Matt, you require 158.
This would be Matt's biggest finish of the week. His best effort to date, 130.
100. Joshua requires 16. Game shot on the
He's
first
been pretty
leg.
good on double 8 tonight, hasn't he?
Richardson.
He's left himself on 25 a couple of times. That one without the single 9 is good for a 1-0 lead in this best of 7 leg match once again.
Second leg is Matt to throw first. Game on.
4 ton plus checkouts. 15 maximums, which was the most in Group A.
180.
There he gets another one. His 16th of the week. That's what he can do.
140.
He's got a very high level of performance. Best average of the week of 100.2. In another game,
58.
he had an average of 100.19. But we've seen many times before. And the players who aren't playing tonight but are watching will definitely back this up.
96.
Just because you win Group A doesn't mean you're going to get through on a Saturday night. You could get second spot in Group C, you could get third spot in Group B and still win and get the cash. And that Champions Week spot. We'll touch on that
93.
in
Josh
just a
require
second.
170.
Hello. That is a wasted chance because that first start was
Matt, you require
plum.
74.
Double 16.
Game shot on the
And that is a
second
great
leg.
15 darter.
Matt Dennant.
A little bit of a message sent to his opponent there because he was dominated in leg 1 scoring wise. And that is Dennant getting back on the horse.
So I think it's Josh to throw first.
Now, if you haven't been tuning in for the rest of the week, as you see the averages in this match after 2 legs, you may not
43.
know who's already through to Champions Week, which starts a week on Tuesday. Stephen Burton won week 1 over Jim McEwen, and Scott Williams also found his way to Champions Week. Chaz Barstow won 7 days ago over Graham Usher, and Scott Walters
27.
also found his way to Champions Week. They're all trying to get that £6,000 cheque, which has already been banked in Phase 1 and Phase 2 by Jim McEwen and Robert Owen.
$60. $140.
In the first match in this group, it was 4 legs to
58.
3. And already we know that if Josh wins this match, he's safe. But if Matt wins it, he would love to win it by 4 legs to 2 or better. Just to give himself a little bit of a better chance of coming through than his opponent right here.
Josh requires 62.
I just get the feeling that leg difference is going to come into play in this group. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling in my water.
26.
That wasn't the plan originally for Josh, but it was a miss at double 18 for taking leg 3. And he's protecting his throw really well in this game so far.
Josh requires 36.
Only one more job to do.
Game shot on the third leg.
And that
Josh
was it.
Richardson.
So whoever throws first in this match seems to be playing better than the opponent. Matt Dennant has got to make a move against the throw at some point.
Fourth leg, it's
But his
Matt
first
to throw
job.
first. Game on.
Hold here. Now, it is my esteemed privilege to sit in this chair
100.
for 5 days in a week and to commentate on some of these great dart players. But on Saturday night, I get another privilege, which is to tell you who's coming up next week.
180.
And I'm kind of jealous of Chris Mason, who's coming back to the chair on Tuesday. Because next week is rather good.
180.
Just like this leg, I'm going to delay the announcement of those names because this leg is amazing. It could be perfect.
180.
He's had a 9 hit against him by his own father last
100.
year.
Joshua Ricker 141.
Can he get his own? He's not getting a 9 darter.
83. Matt, you require 121.
And he might not even get the leg. But now he has a great chance for 3-1 up.
58.
Get this and be within 1 leg of winning Group 1.
Game show on the
And
fourth
this
leg.
is a great
Josh
performance from
Richardson.
Josh Richardson. An 11 darter with back-to-back maximums to start that leg. We're starting to see him play properly.
Fifth leg, it's Josh to throw first. Game on.
His best average of the week, 95.8. This is better than that
140.
by about 5%. Now, while I can, let's talk about who's coming in next week. We've already seen a good showing from
60.
Dan Reed this year. He's making his return. He will play in Group A with Jared Cole, with Nathan Gervin, who recently had a 9 darter
134.
on the PDC tour. Steve Brown, Bombers back. We're going to get a first look at the live league from
60.
Mark McGeaney, the former Lakeside finalist. But The last person in Group A requires a drum roll. It is Duffman Neil Duff. The new
41.
WDF World Champion will be here for a crack at the Live League once again. Your other players in Group B, Mike Warburton,
85.
Peter Jakes and Scott Baker. And Group C on Thursday and Friday will include Andy Jenkins, Kurt Parry and Stu Wilson. There's some genuine form in there. I'm not just talking about Neil Duff, I'm talking about some of the others as well. That is an amazing week, which starts at 9:30 a.m. live on Sporty Stuff TV on Tuesday.
140. Just require 130.
This is to win Group 1. Double 5.
125. Mate, require
So a group winning dart has been missed. And Dennant is on the cusp of defeat.
140. Joshua require 5.
Only his third defeat of the week. Double 2. And
Game
Richardson
shot on the
has
match.
won Group 1.
Josh Richardson.
He wins his first 2 games of the night, and he can relax because he's going to be in the first semi-final a little bit later on tonight. 96.12, his best performance of the week so far. Dennant still has a chance of qualification, and when he faces Darryl Pilgrim in a couple of games' time, it's going to be a straight shootout to see who goes through Group 1 in second position. We're going to go back to Group 2 now, and after that stupendous start by Ryan Finesse, we're going to have a little look at Paul Hogan's next opponent, which is Ciaran Teehan. He's got 2 matches coming up. What we're going to get from the big man from Cork when we come back after the break. Welcome back to the Saturday finals here in week 3 of phase 3 in the Online Darts Live League. I'm Paul the Asset Nicholson, and it's time for game 4, which is match 2 of Group 2 this evening. Time to welcome back Ciaran Teehan. Paul Hogan has got his back against the wall here. If he loses this game, he's out. It's effectively a knockout scenario for him, but not for Tien. But just to make things a little bit easier for himself, I'm talking about the 22-year-old from Cork, if he can find a victory against Hogan here, he's guaranteed a spot in the semis. But we don't know whether that's going to be in the first or the second semi-final. But Hogan's been here before on Saturday night. He knows the complexity of this format. He was second to Robert Owen in week 3 of phase 1 this year. So he has made the final previously. If he wants to do that again, to have a crack at the weekly bonus, he must win this game. And he will have to do something he hasn't done this week, which is beat this young man. Because over the last couple of nights, Tien has owned Hogan. Beat him by 4 legs to 2 on Thursday. And last night, by an even wider margin, 4 legs to 0. As he put in that 96.97 average in the early hours of this morning. And finishing with a 1-2-6 checkout. It was a brilliant display. And it looks like Tien has come to play once again with this hot start. Just looking for a straight tonner of 92 to leave the double.
43.
It's an unfortunate deflection there, which may be an invitation for Hogan to get back in the leg.
100.
2 darters each, but Tien is on the trail.
Here you require 89.
Taking his time right here, the 22-year-old. Gets a shot at bull.
Game shown the first.
That's the exact segment that he found for that 1-2-6 checkout to beat Hogan yesterday in the last leg of the encounter. He's been floating under the radar all week.
Game on.
And here is one of the most surprising statistics of the week. We have 6 players here in the finals on Saturday night. Ciaran Teehan is the only player who has played in 2 different groups this week. He played in Group A and in Group C. The other 5 players only played in 1 group. So he's played more games than anybody by a very long way.
135.
Just to give you an accurate assessment of what he has done, 18 games played, 11 won with 7 losses. A running average of 88.5, which is very respectable. But he's worked harder than anybody this week. Just having those extra games in the arm, you just wonder if maybe he's more prepared for tonight, or possibly a bit more tired, because this is his 5th consecutive day of competition. You'd have to ask him how he's feeling, but he's only 22. I'm sure he's got bagfuls of energy.
140.
And there's more proof of it. If Tien does win this match, not only is Hogan eliminated early, but then he would have
100.
An eliminator against Ryan Finesse to see who wins the group. Double 16.
Game shown the second leg.
And he is doing nothing wrong against Paul Hogan What has Paul done to Kieran? 6 legs in a row over the course of 2 nights.
Feel like it's Paul to throw
And
first.
Hogan doesn't have the
Game on.
answer. He might be eliminated before 11:15 on a Saturday night. And what is it
100.
about people tonight playing really well against Hogan as well? 106 was the Furness average against Hogan.
139.
And Tien is on pretty much the same mark.
60.
He does have a personal best in this room over the course of the last few months of 100.2. He came pretty close to setting a new personal best last night.
140.
Just missed out with a couple of missed doubles. If you are going to set personal bests, this is a really good night to do it.
60.
And yet again, Hogan can't live with the scoring of Tien, and he's got the throw once again. And using it. And look at Hogan, he's already got his hands on his hips.
140.
He's been suffocated with incredible scoring by his 2 opponents tonight.
41.
And no matter what he does, it just doesn't seem to
You
work.
require 82.
That leaves 72. It doesn't have to do anything fancy like 2 double 18s. Double 12.
Game shown
And
the
it's a
third
12
leg.
darter.
Ciaran Teehan.
It doesn't matter what happens on the approach. He missed the bullseye in the 25, and he still found 72 and 2 for 3-0.
Like it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
Maybe it's just a matter of time before Hogan is going home.
59.
I've just been puffing
60.
my cheeks out a little bit, just taking in what's happening in Group 2. I almost feel a little bit sorry for Paul Hogan. He's been put under massive amounts of pressure.
81.
But Tien has got to stay on the ball here. He's not one of those players this week who has found himself 3-0 up and let those leads slip. But there is an ironic celebration from Hogan, who finds his first maximum of this match.
99.
And he's got a lead of 1 point, which is about to be stretched.
100.
Can stay on the 20s here.
95.
He leaves a 167.
161.
So for the first time in this game, it's Tien staying on the tail of Hogan for a change.
137.
But if this goes, this would be
You only
very
require
typical of Hogan's
167.
night. It's not going to happen. And if Hogan does take this 24 points,
We require 24.
just watch for the celebration.
Game's on the 4th leg. Paul Hogan.
It's somewhat languid, head bobbing from side to side as if to say, I'm still 3-1 down, I've got a long way to go.
If he gets Paul to throw first.
Even if he does
Game
win
on.
by 4 legs to 3, he's still going to need help in that last match in Group 2. Because his leg
78.
difference is already -3.
$58.
Best case scenario for Hogan is to win the next 3 legs and then pray that Ryan Finesse
41.
plays again like he did in match number 2 of the night. But as each minute goes by, that situation gets a bit more desperate.
98.
If you are eliminated at this stage and you don't make it to the semi-finals, you are rewarded with £375.
41.
Fourth position, the person who does not make it to Champions Week from the semis will get £500. Third place, an invitation to Champions Week and £750.
60.
And if you make the final, you get 1,000, win the whole thing, and you double that.
$96.
If Tien gets to a double, the likelihood is he wins right there because he hasn't missed a double in this match. Quite stunning.
97.
And we have had a perfect doubles performance this week from Darryl Pilgrim. That was in match number 1 of yesterday.
130.
He averaged 98.71 in beating Andy Hamilton and 100% on the doubles. Well, that's that stem ruined.
80.
And that dart on the floor is good news for Hogan. But Tien still has the opportunity of finishing this off here.
81.
And to finish off Hogan for the week.
Here you require 108.
To finish off Hogan's phase. It's 419s and double 16. Or that with a 51 and a bull.
40. But we require 34.
Interesting leave of double 17 here.
Game's on the 5th
Oh,
leg.
there's another one down.
Paul Hogan.
So he's still kicking. He's still swimming. And in a stealth sort of way, just under the water, he's thinking, I can still get this. I can still get this.
See if it's Kieran to throw first. Game.
I just love that crocodile on the back of his shirt that's holding up a 180 sign that is in the fashion of a plank of wood and an old-style sign. This dart shirt
45.
really is a work of art, in my opinion. Some dart shirts out there are a bit meh, as I would say.
55.
They're not that memorable. But this one, that's got character. That's got a relaxed crocodile with an Aussie hat on.
140.
And I'm a big fan of it. I'm surprised this week he hasn't worn his dart shirt that is in his beloved West Brom colours.
81.
There you see the averages in this game. Kieran's average has come down by about 12 over the last couple of legs.
85.
Hogan's has gone up by about 6. And they're starting to meet in the middle.
59.
But those averages don't mean anything when Kieran on darts here has got a 1 dart lead and these. I emphasise, and these.
70.
It should have been more. Go 19s, Paul. Go 19s. Or just hit all of those.
126. Given you
It's not a
require
bad visit,
161.
but the tactics were wrong. I'm not one to criticise, but from 306 you must start on 19s.
65.
He's given Ciaran Teehan 6 darts from 161.
100.
And I emphasise,
Given you
he
require
has
96.
not missed a double yet. Hogan needs him to miss something here. Uh-oh.
Game shot on the match.
Paul Hogan's
Ciaran
gone.
Teehan.
And for the 3rd consecutive evening session, Ciaran Teehan has disposed of Crocodile Dundee. Well, that wasn't a win. Yesterday wasn't a win. That's a win. 82.88 for Paul Hogan. He's gone. Ciaran Teehan with a 93 average and 100% on the doubles. I tip my hat to you. What a great performance that was on the finishing. And he will have a shootout with Ryan Finesse in a couple of games' time to see who goes through the group. Speaking of shootouts, That's exactly what we've got with Darryl Pilgrim and Matt Dennant in game number 5. Whoever wins will join Josh Richardson in the semi-finals. That's coming right up. Hello everybody and welcome back to us here at the Online Darts Live League. Thank you for your company at this late hour. We've still got lots more to sort out here in week 3. And we've got 2 shootouts coming out for you now. The first one in group number 1. And the winner of this one will be through. The loser will be gone. It's pretty simple. Josh Richardson has won his first 2 games of this group, so he will top group 1. The number 2 spot will go to the winner of this game. And we'll play
Okay, first I get Matt to throw first. Game on.
in semi-final number 2 against the winner of Group 2, which will be decided next.
180.
Matt Dennant has waited a long time over the last couple of days to get this chance to play again.
93.
He does not want to come to Saturday night after winning Group A just to play 2 games and go home.
44.
He wants to bank some cash. He wants to be back in about 10 days' time.
100.
And this one, pace-wise, is going to fly. It's going to be quick. You have played a couple of times before in the Live League this year. In Phase 2, Week 3, they were involved in 2 matches in Group B. And both were won by Matthew Dennant by 4 legs to 2 and 4 legs to 3. Both really tidy averages of 93 and 92.
59. Now we require 170.
So based on that and what we've seen this week, you would assume that Dennant is the favourite. However, a 170 is found by Darryl Pilgrim in the very first leg of the contest. And that gets a fist pump of respect from his opponent. That is the second maximum checkout of the week.
Against Darryl to throw
the other one being hit by Scott Marsh in match 2 of the first day.
134.
What a way to announce yourself in this eliminator.
93.
At times over the last couple of nights, Pilgrim has looked so sharp. And on Thursday, he walked away with 4 points
54.
from a possible 8 and was left shaking his head, thinking, how did I only get 50% of the points on offer?
58.
He was taken out by Paul Hogan in his second match on Thursday and was left wondering, how did he lose it? He only missed 1 match start and 2 darts in total in the match. He didn't do a lot wrong.
97.
But this is one of those games where you can't do anything wrong. And so far, he's not putting a foot wrong.
100.
Matthew Dennant has got to find
89.
not a purple patch right now. A positively Joker-style Prince purple patch. Deep purple.
93.
If you will.
164.
Got to start here.
98.
And that may not be enough. As Pilgrim looks for 2-0.
Game shot on the second
This
leg.
is bad news
Darryl Pilgrim.
for the winner of Group A, because a break in the bank and a hold. Pilgrim is at the halfway point and Dennant has got a lot to do.
So look, it's Matt to throw first. Game on.
But this is what you get on finals night. You get players that are ready to perform. You put them in a knockout scenario, they find that extra percent. And in Darryl's case, it's more than a percent, as you can see. This is a destructive performance so far.
99. 100.
We've already seen a 106 average from Ryan Finesse. If Pilgrim keeps finding those big scores, I get the feeling Matt may be going back to the West Midlands very soon.
58.
It will feel very bittersweet a week. if you win the first group of the week. Only lose 2 games.
126.
And then lose another 2 when you come back. But Pilgrim is not letting Matt off the hook at all. And he's going after his throw again.
Now we record 142.
Should go 25 now. Is this the slip that Dennant needs?
38. Now you require 151.
He's not going to get much of a better chance here. And all he wants now is Pilgrim to miss the first dart at treble and the second dart for the recovery. What does he want to leave himself?
64.
That's a good dart.
Now we require 104.
I like that thinking a lot. But the treble is not missed. How about the double? That isn't missed
the
either.
Third leg. Darryl
This
Pilgrim.
is such a glorious performance. I suppose, considering the colours he's wearing, it's Wilfried Zaha-esque. He's hitting the back of the net.
Fourth leg,
with
it's
a
Darryl
vengeance.
to throw first.
And Matt Dennant at the back of the room can't look.
83.
I don't blame him. We have seen some superb stuff tonight.
57.
A great display from Tien against Hogan, where we didn't get one missed dart at a double in that match. 6 legs, 6 hits. 4 from Tien, 2 from Hogan. We've seen a 96 average from Richardson against Dennant. A 97 from Hogan in defeat to Furness, who got a 106. And all of these statistics are making the first match of the night look positively awful. And that was a narrow defeat for Darryl, which hasn't really hurt his chances of getting through this group anyway.
96. $58.
It's almost time to press the panic button for the West Midlands contingent, because Pilgrim is getting super close. The leg difference doesn't matter.
117. Now we record 99.
To put a flake on it, he's got the 10. And he's got the double 16 as well. That is an amazing performance in that eliminator for the semi-finals. Darryl Pilgrim will not be denied. Let's have a look to see what that performance was. It was 103.66. Not his best display that we've seen in the live league, but one of the best he has done this week and in his live league career. And check out percentage again. 4 from 4. The doubles are the size of a barn door tonight. We haven't had a missed dart at double in the last 10 legs. What a streak from our players here. We've got another eliminator now of sorts, because one person's got to win Group 2, the other one is going to be second. Will it be Furness or Tien? That's coming right up. Hello and welcome back to the last qualifying match for the semi-finals. Both of these players are going to feature in the semi-finals, but in which one? The loser of this next match will stay on the board. The winner will have a one-game break. I've just tweeted out one of the best statistics that we've ever had at the Online Darts Live League. Thanks to this guy, Ciaran Teehan, Paul Hogan and Darryl Pilgrim. Now, if you count all of those 10 legs that were played in the last couple of matches, we've seen 10 hits at double from 10 attempts.
Okay, first leg, it's Kieran to throw first.
An astonishing doubling standard, of which I have never seen in this tournament. In fact, just to embellish on that a little bit,
60.
There have been times in my career as a commentator where I have never seen that anywhere. One of the best doubling performances I've ever seen in my life was Peter Wright at the World Match Play. And he didn't miss a darted double, I think, for 8 straight legs. We're talking about 10 legs without a missed darted double. This is the kind of thing that happens probably once a decade.
140.
But when you talk about the standard tonight, we've had ton plus averages from Finesse and from Pilgrim now. We've seen incredible doubling.
140.
These guys have turned it up a notch, or 5 tonight. Now, I put it out there in
162
the game that Ryan played that he doesn't have a nickname. I get the feeling he's getting pretty close to having one, because somebody in the Twitter sphere has come up with a belter, and I'm going to tell you what it is in the next leg.
60.
That one was over-delivered.
119.
And Tien gets a look at the 119. Can someone possibly keep this doubling streak at 11? Oh, he's hit the wrong one. So the streak is over at 10 straight doubles. Good attempt though, Kieran. Oh, what? I'm amazed he did that.
18.
He hasn't done that all week. Has he been practicing with Richard North?
Game shot on
Double
the first
9
leg.
is there, and Ciaran Teehan takes the first leg on the throw, but not until he gets a bit of a scare after that somewhat jazzy look at 2 double tops.
Second leg is Ryan to throw first. Game on.
Okay, so let's get into it. We've had a couple of replies about giving Ryan a nickname. And my good friend Tony Newell, the Bear, from up in Cumbria, said he should be called Ryan Barrow in Furness. Yes, we get it. That's a place in Cumbria. Ha ha, Tony. Very good. But for a nickname, it doesn't really work, does it? I do like the fact you got in touch, though, so hope you're well. And well done on that ADC victory, Tony. Congratulations to you. But Mark Marlowe has got in touch, and he's got a superb suggestion.
85.
How about Ryan Blast Furness? Or Blast Furness. I like it a lot. Just the name Blast.
94.
If you watch this back, Ryan, come tomorrow or a few days after this, take it on board. And if you do adopt that,
100.
I'd send Mark a tweet just to say thank you, because that's a really good suggestion. That's a bit of a blast right there.
180.
To leave himself on a 2-darter.
100.
It is conceivable that we would see these two again in the final, if they make their way through their own semis.
Game shot on the second leg.
And Furness gets back into this match with a characteristic shot at that double top. And this one is very good indeed.
So look, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
Averages both in the 90s, and Finesse just short of 100. Leg difference doesn't matter.
60.
Legs won does, because you need 4 legs in this game, of course.
60.
So anybody getting in touch on social media tonight, thank you very much for sending us your kind words. And for everybody who's been in touch this week, of course. There is more for next week.
95.
Starting at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Don't miss the Duff Man coming back to the Live League. I wonder if he's going to bring the trophy.
137.
He's going to be a happy man today. He was at the Cup final where Liverpool beat Chelsea. So in 2022,
100.
everything is coming up, Duffman. Tim's also been in touch tonight, saying that the evening sessions seem like a nice environment in a jazz cafe. Well, that is a compliment. And from someone who used to play the saxophone, that is a big compliment. So enjoy the rest of the session, Tim. We're only just getting started. Pressure on Tien.
95.
Not quite.
Kieran, you require 112.
So many options here. What's behind door number 1? A miss at single is what is behind door number 1. And in regards
80.
to the 149, let's see what's behind door number 2. Another miss. And the possibility
59.
of the 22-year-old from Cork taking the lead by 2 legs to 1. Don't think that came out of his hand right.
Game shot on the 3rd leg.
And for just a
Ciaran
second,
Teehan.
I was waiting to see whether that second dart had hit the double 8 and he needed another double 8. But it's Owen Binks who's the referee, and he tells us he's won on double 16.
4th leg is Ryan to throw first. Game on.
Nobody has a better view in this room than the man with the mic.
47.
All on throw so far, and a very enjoyable game. These two have
91.
never met in the Live League before. It's not often you see a first meeting on a Saturday night. And we have been going for over 2 years now, and some people have spent a lot of time playing against each other, particularly in 2021, when Robert Thornton and Richie Burnett just couldn't get rid of each other. And Jared Cole and Martin Adams had played against each other many times as well. We will see a bit of Jared Cole next week. He's coming back as well. There you can see the averages are separated only by a quarter point.
100.
And at the start of the night, I said that I had no idea who was going to win this.
140.
At this point of the night, around about halfway, I still haven't got a clue.
$180.
That's a great maximum from Ciaran Teehan. His first of the contest. Oh, a Robin Hood. And it's a bad time to get one as well.
65.
He had the possibility of leaving tops there.
Kieran, you require 81.
But because of the Robin Hood, he could only leave a 2-darter and then misses to leave a 3-darter. Bullseye for 3-1.
56.
This is where that Robin Hood has really hurt him. He could only get 1 darter double. And that 54 is blocked. He did have the option of tops for bull or bull for
90.
tops.
Kieran, you require 25.
Chose to stay on the 54. Double 8 for a 2-leg lead.
Game
And
shot
the
on the
winner
4th leg.
of Group
Ciaran
2
Teehan.
is looking more likely to be the man from Ireland right now. He won Group B. He might be winning this group as well.
5th leg, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
Like I said earlier, he's played more legs this week than anybody else. More matches than anybody else. Hit more doubles
100.
than anybody else. By the end of tonight, Ciaran Teehan is going to deserve a day off.
100.
But after winning that group last night with 4 straight wins,
100.
I don't think he's been this confident for at least a couple of years. Glorious 180.
180.
A second of the match for Ryan. That takes his average up a little bit more towards the 95 mark.
140.
But it is his opponent who gets to the finish before he does. Oh, that is
130.
glorious.
Kieran, you're 161.
A high standard in this game. And overall tonight, it has been one of the best Saturday nights I have seen in the last 12 months. It's been that good. 74. And he's going double 17. It would have left
51.
a shot at tops.
61.
But now Tien gets the knockout blow right in front of him. Can he grasp it? There's your answer. He misses the single.
29. Ryan, you're requiring
What
40.
a let off for Ryan Finesse. Oh. And that is an uncharacteristic miss.
8.
So Tien does come for double 16
Kieran,
to
you
win Group
require
2.
32.
To play in semi-final 2 against Darryl Pilgrim. That's
Game
what's
shot
going to
on the
happen.
match.
You'll have
Kieran
to strap
Teehan.
in for that one. That could be really good, considering some of the numbers that they've put together. Ryan Finesse put in the bigger average, but he only got one leg. That streak of 10 straight doubles hit tonight has been broken, but that was a decent match to finish off our qualifying stages. Josh Richardson is going to take place in match number 7, which will be our first semi-final of the night. And Ryan Furness, because he lost that match there, will play Josh Richardson in that match. That will happen in about 10 minutes' time. Stick with us here on Sporty Stuff TV. The semi-finals are on the way. Hello darts fans and welcome back to the semi-finals now for week 3 in phase 3 of 2022. This is a big first semi-final of the night between Ryan Finesse and Josh Richardson, because one of these guys is going to make a final on a Saturday night for the very first time. We'll talk about their best efforts when the match gets underway. But this is the winner of Group 1 in Josh Richardson, taking on the runner-up in Group 2, Ryan Finesse. But the best performance of the night so far belongs to Ryan. What he would give for another performance like that, after he disposed of Paul Hogan by 4-1 in match 2, with almost a personal best.
Okay, first look, it's Josh to throw first. Game on.
So he's undefeated so far
77.
tonight is Josh. Same can be said for Ciaran Teehan. Josh's wins, 4-3 against Pilgrim. That was a pretty scrappy start
140.
to the night. After that, a 4-1 win against Matt Dennant, who was consigned to the bottom of Group 1 after consecutive defeats
51.
to Richardson and Pilgrim. We will see Tien and Pilgrim come up in semi-final number 2. But who will be waiting in the final when that happens?
125.
It's Rushton in Northamptonshire against Salisbury, the place with the very memorable
41.
cathedral, remember. Two excellent
60.
technicians, as you can see. And two players may be playing at the peak of their powers this week. We will remain at best of 7 legs for the rest of the night. And these guys have already guaranteed themselves £500 as a bonus.
136.
However, the winner of this match will be guaranteed double that.
26.
With an opportunity to double it again. Double top for Finesse.
30.
He's dominated this first leg in the scoring aspect. And he's going to come back for double
60.
5 to take it.
On record 10.
Doesn't want to mess around too much.
6.
But is. And because Josh has not found his range on that treble 20 yet, or indeed any treble, he still has a chance of breaking the through on 7 visits.
100. On require 4.
Double 1.
No score.
Well, Josh Richardson
Josh
really
require
shouldn't be
86.
getting this look. If I was in his shoes right now, I'd be thinking, make him pay for all of those missed darts at double. But that's a mistake. And not getting a shot at the bullseye from 86, he understands, is a big error.
78. On record 4.
That may be a good lie. That won't.
No score. Joshua require 8.
They won't want this match to continue in this vein.
No score.
They're starting to play like it's Friday the 13th again.
4. No score.
What has happened in this leg? Somebody's broken both their sat-navs on the doubles.
8.
This could be a 10-visit hold of throw. Averages are out of the window, lads. He knows how big this dart is. And he should never have been given the opportunity to win that leg. It's not very often that you see 30 darters in the live league, but it's still a valuable leg win.
Second leg is
I've
Ryan
been bragging
first.
for the last 10 to 15 minutes about the standard tonight. And then it just goes to show
100.
why I shouldn't do that. I've put the hex on the players. And as we go into Sunday morning here
36.
in the UK, a new standard has to be found, because over the last 4 minutes, the standard has not been good.
140.
But in a funny sort of way, some players play better once they've had a leg like that, because they know for a fact that the overall performance doesn't matter. It's all about just getting the legs. And like I mentioned, neither of these players has made a final on a Saturday night before. Josh Richardson
96.
has claimed 4th spot in week 2 of phase 3 last year. That meant he fell 1 short of Champions Week.
78.
That was the phase that was won by Jim Williams, where he narrowly beat Fallon Sherrick. As for Ryan Finesse, he has made it
40.
to Champions Week before,
require 102.
when he came 3rd in week 4 of phase 5. And yet again, he's the one that scores the better of the two.
61.
But he's starting to miss his targets quite wildly when he gets towards the end of a leg. That must not continue.
100. Ronnie record 41.
Double top once again.
21.
There's another chance for Josh to double his lead.
30.
It's his turn to get a chance to break. This is a very unlikely 2-0 lead that could be used. It's not going to be.
40. Ryan, you require 20.
Come on, Ryan. You've had so many darts at double. And he's missed another couple.
60.
I have lost count of how many darts
Josh,
at double he's missed.
90.
In fact, I've just totted them up. It's 15. Speaking of 15, double 15.
60. Ryan, you require 4.
It is an inordinate amount of doubles that have been missed in this match.
Game's on the
But
second.
finally, Ryan Finesse finds a double. It is that double 2 that cost him a lot in leg 1. But luckily for him, leg number 2 goes his way.
So I guess Josh to throw first. $131.
Well, everybody's ambition tonight is to bag that £2,000 and get the win. They want to do the same as the Ukraine, of course, who just won the Eurovision Song Contest. Who's going to bellow out a Euro-style tune if in about an hour they are at the top of the tree? It would have been so funny if after so many misses at double, Ryan Finesse gave himself a chance of a 9-darter. That wasn't meant to be.
60.
But one of the best attributes of a dart player is patience. You don't need a great deal of patience when you're playing best of 7 legs.
78.
But you do need a little bit of it. That first leg didn't go Ryan's way.
43.
You take it on the chin, you move on. You get to 1-1, and then it's a very different game. You scrub the 2 legs, and then you play best of 5 from there. And you do not dwell on what happened in those first 2 legs. That's how I would approach it. And Ryan's the kind of player that doesn't dwell on things. He doesn't give anything away.
60. Ryan require 124.
His best finish of the week is a 118. That's not going to be bettered right here.
56. Does require 107.
145 is the best finish of the week for Josh Richardson. Best of the night, 170 by Darryl Pilgrim.
$59. Ronnie requires 68.
A 2-1 and a break. This is pretty big. Double 16, different target. Different result.
Third leg.
So maybe the key to success in this game is finding a fresh target. He's had problems on tops, problems on 10s and 5s, but double 16
well, it's Ryan
is
to
a
throw
cinch.
First. Game on. $100.
Josh is going to be devastated by this display. Unfortunately,
100.
at no point in the first 3 legs has he had a 2 treble visit, tantamount to 140 plus.
81.
That is very uncharacteristic when you consider when he played Matthew Dennant, he had 3 of them in 5 legs and also had 2 maximums as well. Maybe the gap between match 3 and match 7 was a little bit too long. It's very possible that at this time of night, if you have a 3-game gap, your body might just shut down a little bit. You've got to work with yourself over that 1-hour period to keep yourself awake, alert, hydrated.
53.
Looks like Finesse is getting the upper hand. Sign of a tired arm is a constant delivery of a dart that is
58.
short. And that's happening on that 60 for Josh.
127.
What GR Jr. needs
59.
are mistakes. And he's not making as many as the man in blue, unfortunately.
43. Ryan requires 68.
That's a great dart for double 4.
Game shown the
things are changing on the outer ring because Ryan Finesse now is starting to find the green bits. There you see that perfectly punctuated 17 dart leg
Josh to throw
for a 3-1 lead.
Game on.
These guys played each other a couple of times in Group C this week.
40.
Josh won their first game by 4 legs to 3, and it wasn't a good game actually. An 81 average was good enough to beat Ryan on Thursday. And funny enough, the game on Friday wasn't much better. But Ryan won that by 4 legs to 2, again with an 81 average. So maybe the chemistry between these two, when they play each other, isn't quite there. Sometimes you do need good chemistry in a game
60
for it to catch fire. With these two, it just doesn't seem to exist. Not yet, at least.
131.
seen it many times with players who want to beat someone too much. They just can't perform. I don't think that's the case in this game. It may just be a coincidence that they haven't played well against each other this week. Here's one thing that can't happen. They can't both go to Champions Week. That is a fact.
134.
So the next chance they would have to play each other at the Live League would have to be in the next phase if given an invite. Double 16 for 3-2.
75.
And this is now Ryan's first opportunity of getting to Champions Week. Double 18 twice, potentially.
72.
I don't blame him for giving it a go.
114.
That's interesting. Is this accurate enough to save the match? Oh no. And Ryan comes back to win this one.
Require 15.
To be in his first Saturday final. In a quest for Champions Week, it's double 4.
He's done shot on the match.
He's guaranteed himself at least £1,000 for his week's work. And he will have a chance of winning the lot a little bit later on. The averages do reflect what happened in the first couple of legs, especially that first leg of the contest. But Josh Richardson, if he wants to make it to Champions Week, is going to have to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes getting himself together, because he will play in the third place playoff, the loser of the next match, which will be Ciaran Teehan and Darryl Pilgrim. The winner of that one will take on Ryan Finesse in tonight's final. That next game in the semi-finals will be in 2 short shakes right after this. Semi-final number 2 about to start, and Ryan Finesse has already found his way to the final. He will be joined by either Ciaran Teehan of Ireland or England's Darryl Pilgrim.
6 more each.
I've been in this seat since the early part of Group A on Tuesday morning. I have to say, based on form, this game potentially could be the best game of the week. They've both played brilliantly well over the last couple of days. This is their first meeting of the week. In fact, it's not, it's their third. I'm only teasing you. I'm only teasing you. The games that they've had already have been pretty good, especially on Thursday. Especially on Thursday. That was a great display from Darryl. But they've both won
First
one.
look, it's Kieran to throw
This
first.
is the most
Game on.
important of the 3. Whoever wins it is guaranteed at least £1,000.
124.
Could still double that still. But the unfortunate runner-up in this game will have to play against Josh Richardson for a place in Champions Week and an extra £250. We only have 3 more matches for you tonight.
95.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to be better than the last game, because the averages in that game were pretty dire. Maybe a sign of the tension, or maybe the tiredness creeping into the arms of these players
55.
who've been playing all week long. But you have to admire this guy who's been playing a lot longer than anybody this week.
100.
He's already played 20 games of darts this week, not including practice.
$96.
Anybody who plays 22 games in a week has done pretty well. But it might be 22 games
134.
without the Champions Week invite. Judging by the start, though, Kieran, by winning
140.
his group tonight in Group 2,
Kieran, you record 48.
that gave him the darts in this contest. It could be key. 88.
Game show on the
Show
first
off.
leg. Ciaran Teehan.
Now, that was not part of the plan, so I am going to call him a show-off. But look what he did do, which I agree with. He didn't go out of his rhythm, and he just got rid of it.
Second look, it's Darryl to throw first. Game on.
Now, I mentioned those previous meetings. On Thursday, Kieran only got 1 leg with a 97 average.
80.
Because Darryl averaged almost 104. And that made yesterday's game look, well, pretty dreadful. Tien won with an 89 average.
57.
And that was the one game that Darryl played over the last couple of days where he just didn't perform at all.
$140.
At no point over the last couple of days has it entered Darryl's mind that he's not going to make Champions Week, because the level of play he's been performing at has been Champions Week worthy.
59.
We have 7 names already in Champions Week. Stephen Burton, Jim McEwen, Scott Williams.
137.
Some pedigree in there. Some brilliant form in the Challenge Tour. Winners this year. And a phase winner in Jim McEwen.
60.
Here at the Lively. He won phase 1.
144.
Chaz Barstow, Graham Usher, Scott Walters, already through to Champions Week. And now Ryan Finesse.
84.
Looks pretty handy, doesn't it? I have 2 more empty spaces on my sheet of paper here. It's up to these guys to put their name on it.
96. Darryl records 60.
Leg 2 belongs to Pilgrim. Just a matter of time before he takes it.
20.
He'll have to wait. You won't have to wait long for week 4
59.
of Phase 3
That
here
will
at the Online
require
Darts Live
40.
League. That will start on Tuesday morning at 9:30, or live on Sporty Stuff TV. Double 10.
20.
Well, if Tien
Kieran,
takes
you
this,
require 170.
it'll be a giant sword in the ribs. Pilgrim's already hit this tonight. It's not going to happen for the Irishman. Pilgrim's
58.
170 came against
That
Matt
will
Dennant
require 20.
in that streak of 10 doubles hit by Pilgrim, Hogan, and Tien.
16. Kieran, you
What's happening
require
on the doubles in this
112.
match with Pilgrim so far? Is this breaker throw going to happen? Not just yet, anyway.
100.
Well,
That will
Darryl's had
require
7 shots at
4.
a double and he hasn't hit one yet.
Game shown the
Now
second
he
leg.
has.
Darryl Pilgrim.
You see a little bit of a reaction from Darryl. He is both angry and relieved at the same time, but at least it's 1-1 and not 2-0.
So look, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
Sometimes it's all well and good getting a
60.
little bit frustrated on the hockey. You can use that anger as motivation, but you have to temper it. There is such a thing as wanting to win too much.
81.
You have to stay within a nice, relaxed process. And I do understand that coming from me, that is a little bit hypocritical. It's called the benefit of hindsight. Look at Pilgrim in the background just trying
60.
to mimic a good throwing process. He's trying to get something right. Whatever he was doing, it has worked.
137.
Because that was much improved. Best effort so far in their live league
93.
careers. We did see something of Darryl Pilgrim last year, somewhat fleetingly at the end of 2021. But when he came back for 2022,
180.
and that is Darryl's first maximum of this match. He was very
51.
close
Now we require
to winning a
103.
phase. He was runner-up in phase 1 to Jim McEwen. And he started to get this
55.
game into his wheelhouse. Those little ghost darts that he was performing in the background are starting to... There it is again. Just mimicking in the background. He
100.
looks like he's in a little
Now
bit
we
of
require
pain,
48.
like he was last night. So he's trying to keep something loose.
Game shown
Whatever
the
he's
third
doing,
leg.
it's working.
Darryl Pilgrim.
Because he's at the halfway point before Ciaran Teehan, who seems to have gone to sleep a little bit now. Time to wake up, Kieran. You've got a job to do.
Fourth leg, it's Darryl to throw first.
Tien's best effort was in the previous phase.
140.
A phase won by Robert Owen eventually. But in week 2, Kieran was in this very spot on a Saturday night. And he came 4th.
54.
He did not make Champions Week. He does not want that to happen again.
57.
On that occasion, in that week 4, it was Josh Payne that won that night over Nick Kenny.
180.
And the person to deny Tien a spot in Champions Week was Andy Hamilton. And it was the revenge of Tien last night in that regard.
140.
Because he denied Hamilton a spot in the finals tonight. Is he finding his feet again? As he leaves the
97.
170 this
Now
time.
we require 164.
Another.
96.
He might
Here
be
we require
disappointed with that after
170.
that beautiful first dart. Second chance at a 170 in this match, and both times he's missed the first shot.
100.
So
Now
for
we require
3-1,
68.
and the first two-leg cushion, it's double 18.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
It's different,
Darryl Pilgrim.
but it adds up to the right amount. Treble 12 would have left double 16, which has been very good to him this week, but he traversed across the board for the 3-1 advantage.
Fifth leg, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
And Tien's got to be thinking, not again. He's still alive,
82.
but he's got to win 3 straight legs to be in tonight's final. Against Ryan Finesse. The only consolation if you lose this match is that you have that eliminator
60.
for Champions Week against Josh Richardson. And because Tien was the Group 2 winner,
60.
he had the darts in this match. But for both of the games after the next break, there's no automatic start
58.
in leg 1. You have to have the bullseye shootout in the practice room.
$100.
Just checking the stats for the game. Pilgrim 87.94. Tien just under 86.
100.
That's all right, as long as you're hitting doubles. But here's the problem for Tien over the last 3 legs. After he won the first leg of the contest, he's not had one more shot
59.
at double since then. That's a combination of Tien falling off and Pilgrim finding something extra. And if you look at how many shots at double he's had in this match,
125.
it does tell a story. He's had 11 shots to Tien's 1.
$100.
That's a really good last start, you know.
58.
A really good last start. What kind of pressure's put on that 100?
122.
The biggest kind.
Kieran, you require 100.
You have to see it. He can't miss this. So Pilgrim
60.
comes back for the double
Darryl, you require
that he's already hit in
36.
this match. In fact, the last double he aimed at.
Game
And he hits it once
shot
again.
on the match.
So he's in
Darryl
the final
Pilgrim.
against Ryan Finesse tonight. And it will be Ciaran Teehan looking at the third place playoff. 84.22 is a drop in form. Is he getting tired at the wrong time? Pilgrim will have a little break before he comes back for the final. We're going to take one now, but Josh Richardson and Ciaran Teehan will fight it out for that last space in Champions Week from week 3, and that will take place in around 10 minutes time. So grab yourself a late night Horlicks or some other form of beverage for a late night, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes from now. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here at the Online Darts Live League at this very early hour on Sunday. We have 2 more matches for you this morning, and the first one is a third-place playoff between Ciaran Teehan and Josh Richardson to see who will go to Champions Week, a week on Tuesday. There's the small matter of £250 extra as well. But these guys know that they're going to have to play better than they did in their semi-finals. They were beaten convincingly by the same scoreline of 4-1 by Darryl Pilgrim and Ryan Finesse. And those 2 guys will go at it after this game to bag the top prize of the week.
Okay, first leg, it's Josh to throw first. Game on.
So it just goes to show that we were right when we were talking earlier
97.
about the fact that even when you win a group earlier in the week, it's not necessarily a recipe for success. Matthew Dennant won Group A.
34.
He was eliminated in his group. Ciaran Teehan won Group B.
96.
He's not winning tonight, but he could still come back in about 10 days and eye up the big prize of £6,000 at the end of Champions Week at the end of May to be the Phase 3 champion. But it has to be said,
38.
Josh Richardson has never made it to 3rd position before. He'll be devastated if he doesn't do it tonight, especially after the start he got by winning Group 1. Stealth is going to need his best firepower in the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, he'll be back on the road to Northamptonshire before he knows it. As for Tien,
100.
if he doesn't find his best form, he'll be on his way back to Cork with no return ticket.
87.
We'll have a little look back
84.
at some of the weekly winners in the history of the Live League in the next leg, just to give you an idea as to who we can watch out for over the next few weeks in future phases. But it's the bullseye.
59.
Not taken this time by Ciaran Teehan.
42.
Richardson, all of a sudden, is not finding the 60s on a regular basis, but almost got enough for a shot at double 11 there.
95. Kieran, you require 25.
Double 8 for the first break of throw in this match.
Game's
And
on
that's
the
exactly
first
what he
leg.
finds. So
Ciaran
more
Teehan.
misery for Josh Richardson. Ciaran Teehan, who looked a bit dodgy on that second dart, finds the perfect riposte.
Second leg, it's Kieran to throw first.
So let's
Game
date
on.
back over the last few months. We've had winners on a Saturday night like Chaz Barstow. He's done it multiple times now.
97.
He won back-to-back in Phase 4. He actually won Week 4 on the Saturday night and then went to Champions Week and won the whole thing as well. So that was a very
96.
profitable 7 days for Chaz. Since then, he's won another week, which was 7 days ago.
180.
First maximum of this match goes to Tien. And he's fast becoming the most likely candidate to win this match. However, Richardson's not going to go quietly. I love that. One of the most potent threats over the last couple of years here has been Robert
80.
Owen. He won Phase 2 this year. He also won Week 3 in Phase 1, as well as Week 3 in Phase 6 last year, and Week 1 of Phase 4. You just get the
42.
feeling that Robert Owen is going to be a huge,
Kieran, you require
huge
144.
threat somewhere in 2022. Another. Would have left double 12.
128. $85.
That's a half decent leave there from
Kieran,
Josh.
you're
He wanted a lot more than that though. And look where Tien's back at. That double 8 again.
Game
And
shot on
double
the
4
second
comes to his rescue this
Ciaran
time.
Teehan.
This is a much improved performance considering how he played in his semi. He seems to have figured it out over the last 10 minutes.
So look, it's Josh to throw first.
I just mentioned Robert Owen.
66.
He was here on Saturday night 7 days ago and he did not qualify for Champions Week. That was a bit of a surprise considering how potent a threat he has been. But there again is a little bit of evidence of the fact that Tien is getting a hold of this game again. One more push.
43.
And I would not like to predict who's going to win that Champions Week. Chris Mason will be in the chair for the final qualifying week next week, and he'll be here for Champions Week as well. And the 9th name on the Champions Week invite list will be written by my black pen in front of me in a second. Well, not a second. Maybe in 5 legs' time.
140.
But it may be as little as a leg and a half. Penny for the thoughts of Josh and for his parents who are watching on thinking, come on, Josh, you can do this. But he's going to have to do it the hard way. Single 20.
26.
Well, look at the bright side. At least he didn't hit the treble 20. I don't think there is a bright side to that, unfortunately. And you can see the pain on Josh's face. Seems to be a bit more time between darts now for Josh, whether he's thinking about this too much. Just getting outside of his rhythm and his comfort zone. But Tien needs tops.
And
it's 3 different targets
Ciaran Teehan
that have been hit in this match. Double 8 was good. Double 4 was then good. Tops has been found. Maybe one more target is only needed for this win.
4th leg, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
And he has got 2 breaks of throw. Just to give you a reminder of what you will see come Tuesday morning from 9:30, live on Sporty Stuff TV and live on YouTube internationally. We will have a blockbuster of a Group A from Tuesday. It's not something you want to miss. As we welcome back Dan Reid, who won week 1 in Phase 2 with some spectacular stuff. Jared Cole comes back, and we know what he can
77.
do. Mark McGeaney makes his debut here at the Live League, the former Lakeside finalist. Nathan Gervin, who's been playing some really interesting darts lately, including a 9-darter in the past 7 days on the Pro Tour. Steve Brown comes back, and Bomber's got his hands full because the last name on the sheet for Group A is the world champion Neil Duff. And he has never felt more confident or as happy as right now.
180.
Is that a sign that Josh is ready to go a little bit ballistic? As the weight of pressure on his shoulders seems to disappear.
48. Josh require 121.
I'll go through Group B and Group C in the next leg for next week. But let's have a look at the bullseye first if he fancies it.
89.
I'm surprised he didn't. Because if that was his father, James Richardson, he would have gone for that bull. Because that's what he does. Another maximum.
180. Josh
We've
require
had plenty
32.
of those in this game. There's been 5. Cuts a little bit of a smile there, does Josh. Has that made it a little bit easier or a bit harder? If he doesn't hit this 88, that might be that. Is it in? Pause for effect.
Aim shot
And
the
it is
fourth
in.
leg. Josh Richardson.
It's almost as if he was just teasing us. The 88, the miss, the hard shot, the hit. It's 3-1.
Fifth leg, it's Josh to throw first.
There's 5 maximums in this game. Could be more.
100.
We haven't had a game tonight with this many maximums. Maybe a sign of just how much these lads wanted to get through to Champions Week. There, the averages there. 96 for
100.
Tien. He put in a good display against Ryan Finesse to beat him by 4 legs to
60.
1 in Game 6. That was an 88 average. 93 in beating Paul Hogan in match number 4.
100.
But he wasn't very good against Pilgrim in the semi-finals. And at the same time, Pilgrim was very decent. I did promise you I was going to talk about the other players for next week. In Group B, which will be from 10 p.m. on Thursday, you will have Mike Warburton back here, one of our regulars.
145.
Tien's trying to throw big scores with no flights in. Peter Jakes of Yorkshire will come back, and the speedster, the mod, Scott Baker will return
100.
in Group B next week as
Here you
well.
require 156.
Stu Wilson of Lancashire, Kurt Parry of Wales, and Andy Jenkins of Hampshire will take part in Group C.
$75. Josh require 141.
60 behind, but needing 81 more.
109.
Tien was denied a match
Here you
start in the
require
last leg
81.
because of the brilliance of Richardson. There is nothing Josh can do to stop this now. Double 12.
57.
He needed another one. This isn't
Josh
done yet.
require 32.
And as long as you're still in the match, you still have a chance of making Champions Week.
Game
Good
shot on the
old
fifth
double
leg.
8.
Josh Richardson.
He's only hit it 3 times in the last 2 legs. What he'd give for another couple of shots at it. When he's there, he's hitting it.
Sixth leg, it's Kieran to throw first. Game on.
Tien's had 2 darts for the match. 2 darts for his first Champions Week.
140.
Needs to create more. 97.5 average is very handy.
100.
Especially when you consider his previous performance was a good 13 points less than this. I was just trying to work that
125.
out. I initially didn't realise that it was that much. As far as
100.
Josh is concerned, this is a great deal of improvement to what he did against Ryan Finesse. He's averaging 90 in this game, as opposed to 66 in that semi. That was all to do with the
92.
first leg where he won it in 30 darts. That'll obliterate any average. But But that is all gone. It's all done.
140.
It's all in the books.
Kieran, you require 144.
But just like the last leg, he needs errors. And that is an error.
Josh, you require 161.
I can sense the Richardson family thinking, you can get out of this, Josh. You can do this.
90. Kieran, you require 180.
That's pretty much the bare minimum he needed to find. He needs one more error from Tien. As long as Tien does not get 2 darts, one of the first 2 darts in the treble, then Richardson should get a dart to save his skin. Now, he can go 48 bull here, but he's choosing to stay on the 60. And it was a good choice. Richardson looks away. Tien at double 19. Could say it's double 19.
Game shot out the match.
Double
Ciaran
19
Teehan.
for Champions Week. And Richardson, who won a lovely, lovely group earlier in the night in Group 1, has come up short in a very good game. 96.59. Check out 40% for both players. It's very tidy, but Tien was ultimately just a bit too good, and we'll see him again in 10 days' time when he comes back for Champions Week, and he's got himself 250 extra pounds as well. There's another £1,000 up for grabs in our final game of the night, and that's Darryl Pilgrim and Ryan Finesse going at it for the title of Week 3 champion. It's game number 90 of the week. It is the very final game of week 3 of phase 3. And someone is going to be a weekly winner for the very first time. Will it be Ryan Furness or Darryl Pilgrim? The next best of 7 leg match will tell us the answer to that question. £1,000 up for grabs in this match alone, because they've already guaranteed themselves £1,000 regardless. But the confidence that comes from being a weekly winner could be something that they could carry into Champions Week, which will start a week on Tuesday, and they can sit back and get ready for that over the next week and a bit, as the week 4 action commences this coming Tuesday.
Game on.
So the 9 names that have booked their place into Champions Week are, as we start with a bang.
180.
The previous match had 5 180s. This might have more. So the 9 names are Stephen Burton, Jim McEwen, Scott Williams. That in itself is rather tasty. Chaz Barstow, Graham Usher, Scott Walters. These 2 and Ciaran Teehan. And 3 more from next week. That's going to be a very competitive Champions Week, isn't it? Pick the bones out of that one. Why don't you? And after Champions Week at the end of May, we will take a week off.
95.
Phase 4 will be next month, starting in early June. And the next time I will be here in the commentator's chair will be in week 2 of Phase 4. What a start from Pilgrim. When you consider how good he was
79
in his semi-final, he's just continuing the stuff that he did in that match.
41. Darryl Pilgrim 51.
It's got to be a lever that double 16. It's been so reliable.
Game shot in the
and
first
it is once again.
Darryl Pilgrim.
If you play it at this level and do the things that he's doing right now, maybe it's only a matter of time before he is a full-time professional.
Second leg is Ryan to throw first.
And I have to bring up this story one more time, because this is the last time I'm in the chair for a little while.
60.
Darryl Pilgrim has played 1 match on the Pro Tour this year as an alternate player to fill in for a missing tour card holder.
59.
In that match, he averaged really well. It has to be said. But that 1 match that he lost
180
has now become a bit of a story.
$60.
Now, the averages list that we have for all of the Players' Championship events is a guide for us to see how well people are playing over the course of a season.
100.
And if you look at the players in the top 10 of those averages, I'm seeing names like Johnny Clayton, Nathan Aspinall, Rob Cross, Luke Humphries,
96.
Peter Wright, the current world champion, Ryan Searle, Michael Van Gerwen, Damon Heta, and Gary Anderson.
80.
What have all of those players got in common? You guessed it. None of them are above Darryl Pilgrim in the averages list, because he played 1 match,
39.
averaged 99.47.
81.
He lost to Brendan Dolan and is at the top of that list.
75.
But Finesse has missed his chances. to go one leg all. He will come back, but it's not an easy opportunity. Earlier on in his semi-final, he came through 4 legs to 1, but he missed a stack of doubles early. Double 1.
Game shown
he does find the target.
Ryan Furness.
So 2 legs down with possibly 5 legs to go. Best of 5 from here for an extra £1,000.
So I think it's Darryl to throw first.
Some of my colleagues think it's really annoying that Darryl Pilgrim is at the top of that averages list on the Pro Tour.
85.
I think it's hilarious. But the funniest thing about this whole situation is that somebody had him a cup made. And I don't mean a trophy. I mean a coffee mug with a screen print of that averages list. Now, I would not be shocked if they became quite popular as an item to sell.
$60.
But all joking aside, Pilgrim has been playing some lovely darts this year. He could have won Phase 1. He was very close to winning the whole thing for the £6,000. That 99 average on the Pro Tour and that top spot on the averages, it's not that inconceivable.
60.
Because he has been playing really well. And if you look at the Challenge Tour averages, the list of all of the averages for players on the Challenge Tour as well.
50.
Where is he on that list? He's second. And he's played 18 games on that tour. So maybe you're trying to twig what I already
60.
know. He's in form. And a win here tonight would not be a shock.
95.
But he does have finesse in his way. The man we have nicknamed Blast tonight. I wonder if he's going to take it on board.
105. Darryl require 90.
20s, surely. Another. For the bull.
65.
Super close.
Ryan requires 76.
But this is a super chance for a break in 2-1.
Game shown the
That's
third
what he's
leg.
doing.
Ryan Furness.
More often than not, he's finding his way to getting those double tops and double 16s. And at the end of Group C, when he was winning that group,
Against Ryan to
those doubles were sailing in with ease. Has he just become the favourite to be a weekly champion for the first time? His best effort before
60.
Phase 5 last year in Week 4, where he came third. Pilgrim does not want another near miss.
$140.
And Darryl's quest for getting to Champions Week in Phase 1, where he was runner-up, he did finish third in Week 3, behind Robert Owen and Paul Hogan. So he does know a fair bit
50.
about close but no cigar. He wants to be a bit more like Will Smith from Independence
60.
Day. I don't hear no fat lady. I think that was the line from that movie. Which means she's not ready to sing yet.
171.
The grand lady with the voice is getting closer. That's a great switch.
Running require 80.
It's super darts, but Finesse has got the chance first.
60.
And it's wasted.
Now we require 107.
Must find the 48.
55.
And the misses are starting to get wider from the requisite target. That's a bad sign. One more dart at 10s.
No score.
He's missed 5 darts at that double.
Now we require 52.
To be 3-1 up. Could it be a break back?
Game's on the 4 flag.
He counts
Darryl
himself
Pilgrim.
extremely fortunate to be 2-2 now, but ride your luck when you get it. And now it's best of 3.
Fifth leg, it's Darryl to throw first.
Averages aren't great. 81.59 for Finesse.
123.
8 misses at double in this match. He knows he should be 3-1 up. But he has shown amazing bounce back ability at times this week.
140.
84.55 for Darryl. And his doubles are 50%. If it wasn't for that sharpness on the outer ring, he could be further behind. And indeed, could have lost this match potentially.
T1.
This being new territory for Ryan Finesse. I'm just not sure how he feels.
140.
Is there pressure? Trying to be a weekly winner? Or is he sufficiently happy being
82.
part of a Champions Week
we require 138.
once again? But with the monetary reward at the end of this one, you have to say there is a little bit of pressure, isn't there? You do want to get an extra £1,000.
91.
You do want to double your tally in one game. This is what happens when you play darts.
Now we require
At
47.
this level, you start playing matches where you double your money. Double 16. It's awkward.
15.
And Finesse can go ahead again
64.
in this topsy-turvy match.
Game
Pilgrim looks away, and Finesse does
Finesse.
not make an error this time. That's a pinpoint 64 checkout with treble 8 and tops. As soon as that treble 8 went in, Pilgrim looked right towards the back of the room. It's almost like he knew that the chance had gone.
97.
And what's weird is that these guys have been hanging around the Live League for around about the same amount of time, about 9 months.
100.
And they've never met until now. Imagine your first meeting being in a final on a Saturday night,
59.
or in this case, early on a Sunday morning. They're trying to make it easy like a Sunday morning, but there's nothing easy about this.
91.
This is crunch time. This is where all those hours of practice, all those games that you've played, doing the things that work, come into play. What can you do under pressure?
97.
This is what this game's all about. What can you do when asked the question, can you hit the target
43.
when you really need to? This is how you can turn into a much better player when you can do it under these circumstances.
60.
Pilgrim does get a shot for 3-3. Finesse
100.
has a
They
slightly
require
easier one.
153.
He's had the biggest finish of the night, a 170. That came against Matt Dennant
87.
in that destructive
Going to
performance
require
where he averaged
102.
103. But it's 102 for the win. It's double 11.
80.
And that's the first week-winning
Barrier
dart
requires
missed.
66.
To save it.
48.
You can see the frustration on the face and the body language
Barrier
of Pilgrim,
required 22.
because Finesse comes back for 22. And he
Game
wins
shot on the match.
week 3. You
Ryan
can see what it
Furness.
means to him. He banks £2,000 and a place in Champions Week. But for the very first time, Ryan Finesse is a winner here at the Online Darts Live League. The averages don't tell you much. The checkouts don't tell you much. But the emotion on the hockey tells you everything. We'll see more of Darryl Pilgrim, and we will see more of Ryan Finesse in about 10 days. But over the next couple of days, you'll have to take Ryan Finesse off cloud 9, because he will be loving the fact that he is now a winner in the Online Darts Live League. Thank you very much for your company over the last 5 days. It's been my esteemed honour to sit in this chair and to keep it warm for Chris Mason, who will be back here on Tuesday morning. It's been a great Saturday finals here in week 3. We've seen so many great checkouts this week, so many 180s and great performances. But we're going to sign up for now. We will see you back here on Tuesday morning when the Duffman's here. The WDF World Championship will be in the building. Do not miss that. It will be live on Sporty Stuff TV from 9:30 AM on Tuesday. I will see you again sometime soon. The Asset is signing up for now. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.